So, after 6 months of career break, I do want to talk about, you know, how I actually got a job in IT when I didn't have a non-IT background, and that too 7 years after getting into college. So I passed out in 2016, and after that, I think I did a bunch of work in different companies, none of them IT. The last one was IT, but even there I was a project manager and not an actual developer. So it should be a developer job. And of course, developers should be in IT. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. Just got the call letter yesterday. I joined yesterday, and so everything is fresh. So I do want to touch up on a few points that uh, that should help some people at least. So if you are from a similar thing, so I did actually civil engineering and not even computer science, and basically didn't touch programming language properly since August last year. Okay, so it's not like in 7 years of this time I was, you know, deeply focused on IT and all. In my, I think I did a few courses, a small web development course and all that. In these 7 years, I did do a few courses, but mainly I started to focus when I actually, left the job. So uh, I think where I would start it, I would start at is um, if you can study while in your current job, it's the best option. Okay, but however, if you're being realistic, I don't know, this is the best option. This is what you should aim for, at least whatever your current job. However, if you can, do take time out to study IT properly. Okay, if you can, that's fine. The best option would always be to keep your current job and try to find out some time to study for IT. If your job is too hectic, as was mine when I was in telecom, it was too hectic. So what I used to do when I used to travel in the metro, I used to do a few courses there. During the lunch breaks, I used to do a few courses on my phone there, mainly Coursera. LinkedIn courses I did only when I was cooking, washing dishes, or eating. So when my both hands were not free, that is when I was doing LinkedIn courses, because I didn't have to note down anything. But whenever I had the time, I always did Coursera, and most of them I did on my phone. Okay, believe it or not, most part of the courses I did on my phone when I had to submit an assignment. Um, on weekends, I would boot up my computer and do the courses. So that is what you should aim for. Okay, and try to find 5-10 minutes every time to watch small part of courses. I want to say that so yeah, I already talked about. I want to tell you that join a weekend course or a night course, or but the reality is, if your current job is like most jobs, you won't have the time to commit yourself to that, and also when you're tired. So I think in my personal opinion, self-paced courses are much better if you want to keep your current job. Self-paced courses are better if your current job is too hectic. Okay, so I would still suggest, yeah, so this is all, the thing is, you have to adapt these things as per your current job, as per your current position. Okay, so this is where I started. Okay, uh, when I was in telecom and I had to deal with a lot of data, that is when I realized that I can learn a bit of Excel, I can learn a bit of M language, so that's the Power Query language, and I can learn a bit of VBA to make my life easier. So that's what I did in the beginning. And when I actually started writing the Power Query statements on my own to automate a lot of stuff, I think it was a 4 hour management presentation that I made like 10 minutes hardly. So yeah, so when I started to actually write the code, I realized I'm a lot more suited to this kind of job than to the other bitching kind of job where you have to just show off a lot but not actual work is being done. So anyways, that was my history. Let's talk about yeah, now uh, what are the challenges? I think, you know what, there are a lot of challenges. Let me just tell you what helped me. Second thing is, oh, I have already written it about courses matter a lot. Okay, the online courses that you do, okay, that do matter, and the more engaging the courses, the more it will stick. Simple as that. So if you take a few LinkedIn courses, I've talked about it in the previous videos. So some videos they will ask you 5-10 questions after every 20-25 minutes. After every small module, they will ask you a bunch of questions to make sure that you have understood everything. If you know if you are unable to answer, if you answer wrongly, they will even show you a part of the video where this was discussed, and they will encourage you to actually go back and study. I think that is a pretty good thing. Okay, that is a pretty good thing. And considering you are doing LinkedIn courses, while doing other activities around your household, as I have talked earlier, so that really helps, because a lot of times you will start thinking about something else and the lecture will miss. So in that regards, the courses that had a lot of quizzes, that really helped. The more engagement, the better. Okay, the second point I would, so that was the lowest engagement option. The better one was Coursera. In Coursera, you have to actually do the courses. In Coursera, you have to actually submit uh, your part of code, have to actually get it graded, at least on a few University of Michigan courses and Duke University courses. So when you try to do that, and when you have to, try to fix a small bug in your program for 1 or 2 days, that is where the actual learning happens. And that is what I would say, the courses that force you to write your own code and debug it are the best. Simple as that. That is the thing that will stick. If they are forcing you to write your own code, the the best. That is the best. The other thing, the least amount of hand holding. The least amount of hand holding is the best. Okay, so if I know a few IBM shitty courses, so it's part of the IBM full stack developer course. In that course, they will just open a Coursera lab something, and in the left there will be, what, I cannot show you, I have completed that course. In the left they will show you basically, copy this, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, you click on next, then you copy this, paste it here, copy this. If you are doing copy pasting, you are not learning. Simple as that. Okay, if you're copy pasting, you're not learning. I even talked about it in my programming notebook video. I said how to note stuff down. Even then I said that if something is not sticking, or you have to write down code, if you have to literally copy code from there to here, type it out. Never copy paste. You will not learn. Okay, you will not learn. Okay, and So that was all that. How did it help me? First thing first, it shows on your resume that you were not sitting around just waiting for stuff to happen. Okay, that is a big part. Uh, in my all the last three jobs that I got, they were impressed by the amount of courses I did, the courses I did, and they asked me about what I did in the courses, and I was able to explain them, properly. So that was the main reason of me getting hired. Okay, it doesn't matter which courses they were. The point is, if you do these courses honestly and truthfully, it will help you out. Now in my a few last days, I was checking online and I saw that a lot of these courses have their answers online. I don't know, it was a pretty shameful thing to see that all the comments on these videos were from Indians. From top to bottom, 100 comments, 100 were Indian names. They all just just to get the certificate, they all just copy paste it. The thing is, just certificate might work in non-IT thing. I'm not sure, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, I don't care. But just getting a certificate won't help you out. Okay, that is the point I am making. It won't help you out in IT. Sooner or later you have to learn stuff on your own. You have to code on your own. When there is a good manager and there is a good HR team in front, there is a good interviewee panel in front of you, they will ask you this question. I remember a German interviewer from, what's that company name, Capgemini. So he was the German VC. In the interview, he asked my friend about each and every line on his CV. He picked up each and every line. I think it took the interview for like 1.5 or 2 hours. And each and every line he asked him to explain. So yeah. Oh yeah. I think that should also be part of here. Don't worry if the video is long. You can, the important points, that is the reason I'm noting it down, and this will be the thumbnails, where at least you won't have to read everything. And maybe I will pin in the comment also these points, so you don't have to actually watch the whole video. Some people tell me, why do you make long videos? That is the point. When some people do want to hear everything, they want to know everything. Those are that's me basically. Don't lie. Don't put anything in your resume that you can't explain. Not even a single word. Don't put a single word in there, okay, just to show off that you can't explain. I can tell you right now, a broken English that is yours is better than a copy pasted English from online. I can tell you that right now. Anyways, because I have been on the both side, fighting and interviewer side, interviewer and interviewee. Yeah. Anyways, there is not much to do in the resume. The point is, do do stuff, add to your resume. Simple. The resume will never be a problem. Do your stuff, add to your resume. Don't worry about everything, how it looks, and that you can do. The main point is, anyways, even if I am an interviewer, I don't care how beautiful it is, a resume is. I care what you have put it in there. And since you don't have to write with your handwriting, so I don't care even what your handwriting and all. Anyways, the point is, oh yeah, courses, interview. So what happened in interview? The courses I did. Okay. So this is a very important point. Since I actually did the courses, it was difficult to do, but I did the courses and I made a huge notebook out of it. How many pages is it now? I'm not sure. Let me check. So every course, as I told you about this programming notebook, every course I do, I note it down. Just 121 pages. I thought it would be more. Anyways, so yeah, the courses I did, it came back to me. Okay, so when I was asked a simple question, define hopes, I was able to, clearly tell about the concept both in English, in the language I studied, and in my native language. It was not an issue. The point, and I would like to touch upon this on our courses. So, what my thinking is, learn the same language slash concept from different sources. So this is what I did. I never stuck to just one course. So like I'm doing one course, so this is all I'm going to do. I'm not going to touch any other thing. That was never my agenda. I think I moved between a lot of courses. A lot of courses I moved between, and that really helped. That really helped because the thing is, when you start getting into programming and you start getting into hoops and concepts and all programming constructs, as you say them, they kind of are difficult. That is the reality. In the beginning, they are difficult to, synthesize and to be able to actually understand what is going on. It is kind of difficult, and hearing about it from different sources, I think it's pretty good. In touching up on this one, so there is the University of Helsinki course. So that is the, where is it? Where is it? Let me show you. That is the MOOC 5 course. MOOC 5, MOOC 5, MOOC 5, MOOC 5. I would especially like to talk about this course. So in MOOC 5, there is no videos that teach you, how you're going to do stuff. Okay. The point is they have just, let me show you. So this is the course. If I go into part one, if I go into this, so you read this, you understand this, you do this. These videos are very, क्या कहते हैं? Sorry, I fall back to Hindi when I confess. And these videos are very rare. Okay, these are more important. So see, you have to actually use an application on your system. So let me show you how that works. So it's the TMC Beans application, and I have I need to fix everything. I have installed a lot of things. So the point is, you open that. Okay, yeah. Great time to show the video. So what happens is, you open this application, you log in into the application with your provided credentials, and you will see here that the chapter course will be loaded, and then you have to actually write the program. I think this helped me a lot. MOOC 5 courses, I think this actually helped me, because what happens is in interviews they will just tell you to share your screen and start writing code on your own, and there the courses won't help you. There the only thing that will help you is your experience. Have you actually done those courses or not? Yeah. So since I did the courses, it came back to me, the most engaging course with the, you know what, I will just copy this from, this is the same thing that I want to say. Okay, I would like to continue this one more. Just give me a moment. Okay, so for interview, let's just move it to the other slide. Yeah, I will like to talk about the interview a lot. So let's break the interview into two parts. So the simple one is the questionnaire. No, what do you say that? What's that called? Face-to-face interview? I don't know. Let's say non-tech. basically. So they will ask a bunch of questions. They will ask you the main question. They will ask you, why do you move? Why do you want to move from you know a non-IT field into an IT field? Why are you leaving your old courses? They will see some career gaps in your CV and all that. Why is there a huge career gap? Explain that. The point is, the questions doesn't matter. As long as you are honest to the answer, it doesn't matter. Okay. If you have taken a career break, you must have had some kind of justification. Even if that justification is, you know what, I was too tired and I wanted to take a break for a year from all the jobs I had. They were too hectic, so I wanted to cool off a bit. Even that is a genuine answer. The point is, the answer should be genuine. Okay. You must be honest in your interviews. Be very honest. Okay. That is the only thing that matters. They will ask you a bunch of stupid questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years and all that? The what is your five strength, five? There are hundreds of questions that can be asked. You can do, if you are, a bit new to English and English doesn't come, you have not honed your language skills that much and you're not able to um, give your answers in English and you are much better in your native language. So in that case, what you can do, if you are not good in English, because that is the most interviews that what it will be taken in, just the what do you prepared questions, prepare common question answers in advance. So what you do, you make a sheet, okay, and you find out a few. You just Google the bunch of interview questions, and in your personal interview that you have failed, you try to figure out what are the questions being asked. You write those questions down, and in your own words, don't try to copy and paste the answer. You will forget it. Try to come up with the answer, write it down in the broken English that it is, fix the English out, and revise that a few times a month. That's all. Honestly, that's all. Okay. And that is the reason I never tell people to go to YouTube to learn courses in their own language. That is the main reason I don't. So if I come back here, so might seem easy to get into, but learning English along with your courses should be your aim. Okay, so the point I'm making is, most of the interview will be in English, and if you have understood and learned everything, from YouTube in your native language, whatever that native language is, it is going to be very, very difficult. So you will be very frustrated in your interviews because you will be knowing what you are being asked, okay, but you won't be able to answer it. The same thing, and the other major problem will be you won't simply be able to understand it, and that's the reason I never suggest native language course. I never suggest that. That is the main reason. Even if you are very bad in English, you are unable to understand, just slow down the video, turn on the subtitle, but watch it in English, please. Okay. That is very, very important. Okay. No matter, you can learn a lot of languages, but if you are not able to convey your message in the interview, you are not getting hired. Simple as that. The reason for that is the client. So most of our clientele are from outside India. In all the Indian developers that are working, most of them are outside from India, and time to time the client actually wants to talk to the developer who is working on it. Okay, so you can send your project manager there, as I was. You can send your scrum master in the interviews, but they will demand, they will ask for resume of the person actually working on the project. They will ask to speak to that person in the project. And just imagine if someone comes up with a very, you know, what do you say, very hard American accent. That's all I'm saying. And uh, also, uh, don't go for English in your own accents too. Okay, so if you're Indian and there is an Indian speaking English, don't just do his courses. Okay, it's easier for you to understand your own native tone. Basically, you can understand your own accent even if the language is another, is English. You can it's easier to understand Indian English to an Indian. It's easier to understand. So that's the point I'm making. But in the interview, that is being checked, that if needed, if a client wants to ask you, or in the future if you are promoted, will you be able to stay, will you be able to communicate or not. So yeah, in non-tech there is not much to do. Okay, so the next part would be interview tech viva. Do you say, is that how you say it? Yeah, so viva. Let me see if I'm recording or I have one. Okay, yeah. So in viva they will ask you a bunch of questions. To be very frank, if you have done the courses, be honest, your work up until that point will show immediately. Okay, touching on a point that I forgot earlier. So remember when I said that people were just doing a lot of course, just getting certificate online and trying to, brute force their way into getting a job with any means necessary, any legal means necessary. Most of the layoffs that happened in the last year and beginning of this year, they were those people, okay, who used to do lip syncing, and I don't know, there are 100 ways to cheat. The point I am making is, when you actually have to perform in your current job, you cannot, you are just unable to do that. I also know that there are people who will just join a job somehow, and they will just use the, they will get the work that they have been given for the day or for the week, and they will just go and blatantly post it on freelancer websites, or they will find a few freelancers and they will share the code with them and tell them to work on it. This is this is illegal on so many levels, but the main is NDA. So whenever you join a company, there is a non-disclosure agreement that you will not disclose the information to anyone outside your company. Anyways, the point I am making is, just be honest. Okay, if you're giving the tech viva, they will ask you a bunch of questions. Some will ask you a very simple question, some will ask you a bit of difficult question. The point is, you cannot prepare for these interviews. I think the worst courses on Udemy are the courses like 1,000 questions for interviews, a bunch of interview questions. I don't know. Just do your courses, let your curiosity run, keep doing your projects, okay, and those things will stick. But do note stuff down, okay? Do note stuff down. Programming notebook already made a video. So yeah, I already talked about the programming notebook in details. Be honest, and your work will show up. I mean, it was never a problem. I mean, the tech Viva, honestly, it was never a problem. They asked me a question, either I knew it, either I didn't knew. If I didn't knew, I would say I don't know this answer. They would be like, fine, let's move ahead. They would ask me another question, and they can ask you from any domain. That is the thing with programming. It doesn't just pertain to the language. Okay, so you can't just expect them to ask you C++ pointer question. They will ask you anything. I was applying for a game developer and I was answering network and IP questions. So you don't know what is going to come in your face. And the point is, you cannot prepare for every question. Keep doing your courses, keep learning what language you're doing, and it will fine. Now, the last is the coding or the tech, so where they actually tell you to code, and I think this is the most important point. Okay, yeah, why is it most important? I don't know. I mean, I gave a lot of interviews and it just pained me that this is the point of the fact that you were judged or not judged. Okay, um, but I don't know. They do need some way to, you know, eliminate people, and I think this works in their favor. So the point is, you have to make, you know, a quarter of your day just for coding, just for going on HackerRank and other websites where you practice the coding tests. You do everything on your own, where basically algorithms are most important. Okay, so that is the point I'm making. I hope the audio, yeah, it looks fine. So algorithms are very, very important. You have to do, and you have to, you know, write program coding challenges online should be your focus when preparing for interviews. What I saw was, if you are able to, you know, solve a lot of questions and all, they would look over a lot of other things that you had. So let's say your English is not that good. Let's say you have not gone deep into a particular language, but you have done a lot of algorithms. You have done them by yourself. Again, while studying, be honest. Don't look for answers / help from other people immediately. When you are doing that, it's very easy to just, you know, Google the answer. Don't do that. Never do that. Let that question be as it is. Just let it be on the side. Focus on other questions. Okay, let it be on the side. Come back to it after a few days. Okay, if it's really getting difficult, come back to it after a few days. Try to find out what is the gap in your knowledge. Okay, what you should learn, and, you know, basically prepare yourself. Anyways, so yeah, I think that is most of what I wanted to talk about. I'll go to them courses method, not do courses, not finding courses, and getting the certificate. Yeah. So the point is, IT. It's IT. Don't cheat. Okay. Don't try to get into IT with any means necessary. Be true to yourself. Okay, so don't try to cheat. Don't try to, you know, brute force your way. Anyways, I know people are doing that. I know people who are 25, 26 LPA who don't know how to change their Windows password. I know those people. Okay, and they have been hired. They have been in those IT companies for a long time. And the point I'm making is, don't cheat one day or other. The point is, even if you are not getting caught, the constant fear that you have to live with, knowing that you might be caught one day is terrible. I think we studied about a story, and this moral story as a kid, that there was a rich farmer who had a, you know, friend who couldn't sleep at night because he had so much money in his house. This was all before banks and all. So what he did was he took out his gold and all, and he said to his poor friend that you keep this with you because I am unable to sleep at night. So the rich farmer could sleep, but then now the poor farmer was scared shitless, so he couldn't sleep at all. He used to keep all the jewelry below his pillow, but he wasn't able to sleep, and that is not a good feeling to be. So if you try to, cheat yourself into IT, that constant fear is not worth it. Simple as that. I don't know, it might work in non-IT field, that you just get a certificate, get a job, give a few bribe to few people, and you can get a job. That is what happens in most of the government job in India. So that's not an issue. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, in India you can get a lot of the government job if you know the right people and if you know the right amount. You can get, so every small post to large post, it's not a difficult thing. Even in the central Delhi, I know a few people. I think their salary in the beginning was 10-15,000, and that time they paid like 100 times above of that salary. That is the approximate of their monthly salary. They paid about 100 times, so about 10 times their yearly salary. I think he paid 15 lakhs or something, and he got raised. But in government jobs, you have increments and all. So soon I think he's 40-50,000 per month. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, and that's not the point. You are in IT, you are here to make a lot more money than what government employees make, even by taking bribe. Yeah. Anyways, what is their last? Oh yeah, the last. I think I should have actually started with. I don't know if I should include this in this video or not. I will just touch upon it a bit. So remember, the reason I came into IT, the reason I came into development on, because I like computers. I like to be in here. Okay. And I talked about the passion and all in the previous video. So thing is, you should, figure it out. So in finding the passion, there is the TED talk by Larry Smith. If you know the TED video, yeah, why you will fail to have a great career. So that person also wrote a book, excellent book. The book is No Fear, No Excuses. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I can't read when I never get the time. So yeah, this is the book. Excellent book. If you are wondering, trying to make your work life not suck, basically, it's highly recommended to read, because it's not wishy-washy thinking. It's planning on how to actually find your passions, not just one, a lot of them, and how to get into that career. The thing is, this might seem daunting to a lot of you, the things that I have talked about. The point is, if this is your passion, if you love computers, if you love parts of it, this doesn't feel like work. And that is the most important thing that I learned, that if you love it, it won't feel like work. Simple as that. And you can't force yourself to love it. You can't force yourself to love person or a work. Tried both, failed at both. Don't try it. If you don't, you can't force yourself to love either a person or your work. Keep looking. There are a lot of persons, there are a lot of jobs. Keep looking. It doesn't have to be in IT, but IT has branched into a lot of fields. This is not just coders and no one else. There is a lot of people. There is the design side of things. There is the artistic side of things. There is a lot of IT things that you can join as. Okay, so it's not just one thing. I would say you'd look at all. Oh yeah, the last thing I didn't talk about is emotions, and I think I have written it perfectly here. There is a lot of emotional level of struggle, especially knowing if you have, quit your job to study, knowing that you don't have your job and you are studying for something that you're not sure you will get or not. You know, it is a bit of a struggle. And I think in this part, few things can help if your family are on board with you. There, as my family were. So if they say, you go ahead, you follow your dream, do what you want, and not pressure you, I think that would be excellent. Second thing is if your friends, at least even one friend, even if there is one friend who understands what you're trying to go through, it really helps. Okay, it really helps. Yeah. Anyways, friends and family help in those moments of, what is that? What do you say there? Doubt. Yep. If you ever get doubtful, yeah. Anyways, work is huge part of your life. Don't skimp. Is that even a right word? I don't know. Okay. Ladies, it's. Is there anything else remaining? No, there is nothing else. Oh, talked for a long time, didn't I? 42 minutes. So let me just disable the camera and let me show you the slide one last time. Oh, sorry. I pressed F5. I forgot I am on Google Slides. Slides. So yeah. So let's summarize everything. Getting a developer job from a non-IT diagram 7 years after the college. Important things to keep in mind. It's the best option. Everything is in here. Everything is in here. And that's all. Can I get the preview in 1 minute somehow? Do want to make that thumbnail. This seems nice. Oh, is it done? What is it? Just give me a moment. Yeah. Nice. How do you rotate this shit? Let's hope it happens today. Wow, so fast. Yes. How do you hide this? What? I don't care. So yeah, I think this should be This should be visible. Control L is full screen. Yeah. This should be the thumbnail. Yep. See you guys later.